So the Buchan Offshore Wind project is a 1 gigawatt floating offshore wind farm that's due to be installed offshore northeast Scotland. And I'm going to find out a little bit more about the challenges and opportunities in developing such a project. Alasdair, tell me a little bit about your role within Buchan Offshore Wind.
Sure. So I'm the project director, leading the team. Make sure the work streams are developing, whether it's in the consenting, engineering, supply chains.
And tell me about the project. How big is it and what does it mean for Scotland?
It's a 1 gigawatt project floating offshore. It's about 75 kilometres northeast of Fraserburgh, so it's quite a way out. We are in the middle of consenting. We're looking at our floating hull design with our partner BW Ideol and engaging with the stakeholders. So very busy. The team are very active.
And Alasdair, what are the major challenges to delivering a project like that?
I would say consenting, making sure that we're doing the surveys properly, looking at the details that come back. Also grid, engaging with National Grid, understanding when connection dates might be, what network reinforcements are involved. And on an engineering side, we're proposing 1 gigawatt of floating projects, floating turbines out in the North Sea, so ensuring that we have all the data back and we understand how we're going to anchor those foundations, what turbines are going to be integrated. So everything is a challenge, but that's part of the project.
And of course, for a project like yours, grid connection and when there will be a grid connection is all important, because that's when you're going to get the first revenue for what I assume is a huge capital spend, right?
It is, and getting clarity from National Grid is important. We've been engaging with them and with the transmission operator, and that's gone really well. We would have liked to have got some notification maybe at the end of last year, but we're confident we're going to get clarity by the end of March, and that allows us to then refine our programme, ensure when we can go for a CFD. I think we're in a good position now, and I think all the developers will be keen to get that understanding of where they're going to connect and when.
And Alasdair, you mentioned 1 gigawatt of floating wind. How many turbines are we looking at?
Well, it depends on the actual turbine that we choose and the size of that turbine to fit onto the hull. But it could be up to 70, it might be slightly less. So logistically, that's also going to be a challenge to work out how we're going to integrate turbines onto hulls, how we're going to tow them out. A lot of work ahead.
And where do you see the major opportunities for the local community?
I think certainly in terms of employment, northeast of Scotland and Cromaty Firth are the sort of two hotspots for projects out in the northeast. For fabrication, we've got opportunities at Alasdair, at Port of Cromaty Firth, also at Nig. They're the sort of hub around there. And then for operation and maintenance, you've got Fraserburgh, Peterhead, Aberdeen, and also further afield, Orkney, Kishorn. They're not that far away, so that whole Highlands area, northeast of Scotland, is it's going to be a huge hub of activity.
Great, so really quite a spread of jobs in this low carbon economy.
Trying to ensure that we have a workforce who's going to be able to assist in the fabrication and also in installation and then operation and maintenance. We're speaking to skills agencies now to say this is what we think we'll need in terms of actual workforce skills and expertise. And we're sponsoring UHI, we're involved in developing the young workforce to really raise the profile of what's going to be needed at the end of the decade and into the early 2030s.
Brilliant. Alasdair, it's been really interesting to find out more about the challenges and opportunities of Buchan Offshore Wind, and certainly we look forward to seeing the project develop from here.
Thanks, Murray. Great.
Thank you.